So this is very different from the ambient color. It does look like the ambient color, but it is way more intense when it's added to the object. So let's go and add halfway. So what's the difference between the ambient color and the incandescence? The incandescence is a property that actually takes over the entire color, destroys our color setting. It goes like an input. It's like completely washes out, bleaches the color setting, and then makes the object look like it's a self-illuminating object, like a light. And we explained that on the first class, but I want to show it here in a little bit more detail. The incandescence is very good when we are using like if we want to light up a scene in mental ray, which we're going to see later in one, we want to actually use it as a light source, or we can fake like an object like a light bulb, or let's say this is a fluorescent light. What I could do is go to my incandescence and go to my transparency, so make it a little bit transparent, and give it like some sort of a color, let's say a light blue, and let's see what happens here. So the transparency didn't really work because the incandescence again is taking over. We can go to our color and to our ambient color and give it a color. So notice that now we're getting some like other color information here. I'm going to increase the transparency too. And take the ambient color down. So I'm like playing with these settings. And I'm going to use some special effects here. So I'm going to go and increase the glow intensity. Okay, so back again. So for the incandescence, let's say we don't have no color, nothing here. So if we increase the incandescence and we use like a color, let's say we do that, and let's see what we have. So we get a color and we get the incandescence quality here. And then I would like to show you the special effects here. There's under the special effects tab, there is a glow. If we make this object glow, let's give it intensity of 1. We have a this is a very high number for this object. We need to take it down to 0.01. So you can actually simulate, that's too low, 0.1. You can actually simulate a light source, like a fluorescent light or a neon light. You can add effects here that will give it that feeling. I mean, there are a lot of ways to achieve that with shaders. You can see here that you can all our contour, because of the color and the ambient, we get a lot of that effect. This is too high. Let's go back to 0.2 so you can see how this reacts to light. So now I'm getting some sort of a neon light effect. This is not exactly a realistic way to, a realistic rendering for a neon light, but we're getting closer, and we're going to talk about how to make neon lights and other objects with these methods. So go ahead and experiment a lot with these, and also experiment with the Phong. Use a Lambert and a Phong material. For the Phong material, I'm going to take the incandescence down. I'm going to take the ambient, I'm going to decrease that. For the fong, you get another set of attributes because this is a reflective material, like to simulate plastic surfaces and so forth. You can actually go and increase and decrease these specularity and all these other settings for the specular highlights. Here I'm going to just take the ambient color down, take this, lower that color, and we have a reflectivity setting, and we have a glow. The glow intensity, let's take it down to 0. So let's take it down to 0 first and then add it. So if we see this object, that's our fong. You can see the highlight here, and you can actually change it, make it smaller, make it sharper, and that way you'll get different effects on the surface. You can increase if you go full transparent. See this? We have the highlights on. The highlights are still there. And that's, we're going to discuss why that happens, but right now just go ahead and experiment with a couple of objects. You can actually create, go back to your scene and you know, add, rotate the object so you have like a different angle, so you can play around with different angles, different lights. You can use a Lambert or a Phong to complete this exercise, and we're going to be working on glass and brushed aluminum and steel next week. So work with this, set up the lighting, and bring this exercise with you. I will look at the project, but also want you guys to, I was not saving the renderings here, but I want you guys to go ahead and for each rendering that is done, please save it from the viewport of the rendering window and save image as JPEG. So please save at least 20 different renderings, at least 20 images with, you know, different colors, different settings, so I can see the process and the way that you light them, the way that you set up the studio, plus the way that you give attributes to your materials. So let's say I'm saving this. It's going to be render 01 or 001, and I'm going to drop it into my images folder, and that way I can always save my renderings. So this completes the second video, and please get your email and download the object and the images that I have for you and the instructions. Read the instructions on the email, and I'll see you guys next week.